Mic check one. Mic check one. Mic check two. If you're watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people time to tune in. All right. That's what's going on. Woo! Guys, my family is back. They are back from vacation. And boy, you can tell they're home. You can, oh my goodness. Yeah, this was gonna be a tough show to get started today, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I just ate. They still getting situated and taking their showers and all that other good stuff. We ain't got the lights cut on. My glass is dirty. I had to pick them up from the airport, so we got a lot of different stuff going on. But for the most part, I got everything ready. And I'm excited about this weekend, guys. I am looking forward to recording or filming, doing a live stream for the Q&A. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So I'm in the process of getting these lights cut on. And I'm warning you now, you're going to hear some crazy noises in the background because my kids are still up and getting ready to go to bed and taking showers and doors slamming and all that other stuff. But we are going to work our way through it. We are going to work our way through it. Let me put this back on the screen. All right. All right. Yeah. Crazy stuff happening. I had a good day in the market. My portfolio looking good. And that position I was waiting on might be making that turn. So we're going to see how this plays out. And just to give you a heads up, next week, Friday, the market will be closed in observance of the 4th of July. So they're going to have the market closed on the 3rd before the 4th. So just giving you guys a heads up about that. Now, we need to get this Ninja chat launched and test it to see if that's working. So if you guys been leaving comments during the live stream, like leaving the chat, and you're like, man, he not responding to me or whatever, it's technical difficulties, guys. I'm working my way through it, trying to figure out why it works sometimes and why other times it doesn't. So we still working on figuring out what that problem is. So let me check to see what's going on here. One new live stream found. We're not using that one. Select live stream already added. Wonderful. Auto activate. It says sign in. It should already be going. I'm trying to figure out if the Facebook, well, let me do this, test this chat. Okay, that's working. Hopefully, let me try something and then we'll get started. I just want to see if this will work. Just want to see if this will work. I'm here, so at least I'm on time in that aspect. Where is the link for the prompter? I don't even see it. Let me do something different. Prompter, go there. There it is. Camera. All right. Facebook, got it. What I'm looking for. We need to go. No, I want to create a post. Trying to find this live stream so I can comment. There we go. Just checking to see if we live, guys. That's a story. That's not taking me to the page. Oh, man, this stuff. I need a producer, guys. That's what I need. I need somebody to run all this for me. Just do it. That way all I have to do is what I need to do as far as like filming it. I need a whole production team or something. Do that for me so I ain't got to worry about it. Here we go. All right, I found it. So here's the live stream. And I want to see if the chat is going to come through. Test. Maybe you got to open up the live stream to do it. Yeah, you got to. Well, it's still showing. Get the volume so it won't double back. Okay. It worked. It worked. Now, did it work because I have this window open? Or was it delayed? See, I don't even know. Let me put another one. Test 2. It's working. All right. Good. That's a good sign. All right. Now, 2 people tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We about to go ahead and get the show started. We already have that pulled up because I'm ready to spend some time with my family because I miss them. As quiet as the house was, I do miss them. So I need to spend some time with them this weekend and get prepared for this live stream Q&A on the weekend. All right, one more thing. That's not it. There we go. All right, guys, I believe we can go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for tuning in. The chat is open. We got that going. Okay. All right. Here we go. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God it is Friday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker FDX. You might know them better as FedEx. FedEx Corporation was founded in 1971 by Frederick W. Smith, with the first office opening in Little Rock, Arkansas. Now they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $70 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. FedEx is in the air freight and logistics industry in the industrials sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of FedEx competitors are United Parcel Service Incorporated, ticker UPS, C.H. Robinson Worldwide Incorporated, ticker CHRW, and Expeditors International of Washington Incorporated, ticker EXPD. We're going to review FedEx earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming, but hold up. You see, I'm trying to do stuff while I'm saying this. Hold up. And we are streaming Monday through Friday, following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 9:30. Oh, my phone going off, guys. Give me 1 second. Professionalism. This is not working out right now, is it? Give me 1 second. All right. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to these earnings. That was quick. Take that off. Go there. All right. FedEx, ticker symbol FDX, the $76 billion company, reported its fourth quarter earnings on Tuesday, June 23rd. They have a 52-week high of $345.37, which took place June 15th, and a 52-week low of $174.01 that occurred on August 4th, which is a trading range of $171.36. and they closed today at $318.53. FedEx earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $25 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $24.2 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as volume growth in international export packages combined with transformation cost savings expanded their margins. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $5.91 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $6.31. FedEx reported a GAAP net income of $1.6 billion, which is lower than the $1.7 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents a decrease of 3%. So for the fourth fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 3.1% higher than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management raised this full year outlook, expecting full fiscal year revenue growth of 11%. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $318.53 represents an increase of 83.1% over a span of approximately 11 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in August at that 52-week low of $174.01, they would be seeing a gain of $830.53. Woo, we did that. Now let's go ahead and move on and let's get this going. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? We look for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for SEC filings and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit FedEx's website. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. We good. All right, here we are on FedEx's homepage for their website. Let's talk about where we're gonna go. Immediately at the top, I don't see anything we need. So we're going to scroll over this home page, and then at the bottom, we should see the careers, investor relations, and about us. So let's go ahead. Ship, manage, track, deliver, rate, ship, track, locations, track and ID, drop off a package, redirect the package, store hours and service alerts, and return a package. He's excited. Why ship with FedEx? Innovative solutions for reliability and speed, premium shipping at professional rates. We ship everywhere. Asterisk, better read the fine print. Wallet-friendly shipping with no weighing. Start shipping now. Stay ahead of every delivery moment. Okay, so they got some apps so you can follow your package or track your package. Keep shipments safe this season. Tee up for smoother travel. Yes, I read that backwards. FedEx delivers to every U.S. zip code every weekday, while most UPS services don't. They throwing up competition under the bus, ain't they? For your business, more control, more reach, more rewards. Stay on top of tariffs and trade news. Send global freight farther, faster. Don't miss out on shipping perks. Got it. All right, now we're at the bottom. Let me take me off the screen and let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it. So we're going to go to about FedEx right here. We're going to go to investor relations, and we're going to go to careers. So let's go ahead and start with about FedEx. Put me back on the screen. There we go. Okay, making supply chain smarter for everyone. Learn about us, home, who we are, what we value, how we give back. Okay, our world evolves around you. Day one, 186 deliveries. Today, about 17 million. What a difference from how they started. That's a long distance. Sit down with some of the FedEx team, connect with more stories from our people, learn how everyone leads by example, learn how small businesses deliver for you. Meet the FedEx leaders who are driving what's next. Got it. Are we almost at the bottom? Using core values to create smarter supply chains. Here we go. Flexibility, efficiency, and intelligence. Giving back here, there, and everywhere. Giving back. Measuring what makes an impact. Stay in the loop with the latest at FedEx. Okay, at the top, I seen something that was interesting. What we value. Is that going to take us down to the bottom of the page? Who we are. Okay, they give more details about the company, so you can look at that on your own time. I don't know how far we're going to go down the rabbit hole with that. So links to the website are down in the description for your convenience, okay? We are going to move on and go to the careers section and find out about the benefits, okay? So take me off the screen right here, careers. Bam. Put me back. There we go. Anything's possible at FedEx. Join Team FedEx. Unbox. I don't know what I was about to say. Unbox opportunities. Whether you're just starting out, considering a career change, or looking to enhance your current career path, we have a job and career opportunities to match. We have job and career opportunities to match. So package handlers, drivers, facility operations, maintenance, retail, professionals, student programs, and pilots. They even hiring people to fly the plane. Wow. Okay. Experience our one-of-a-kind culture, life at FedEx. I'm scrolling and it's changing stuff. As FedEx moves forward, we all move forward. Hiring and development. Get hired and go far. Okay, here goes some more stats, possibilities. Guys, I didn't see anything about benefits. There it is. It's right here at the bottom. Take me off the screen so you can see it. Benefits right there. Bam. Let's go. It's a huge moth flying around my monitors. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I'm just warning you now. So life at FedEx, powered by our people, benefits, values, and action. There go benefits. All right, so we're going to scroll down. Did they zoom us out? This font looks pretty small. Yep, sure did. Here's a video you can watch on your own time. Our values and action. Take care of each other. Commit to do good. Own outstanding. Drive business results. Create what's next. Here we go. Benefits, guys. We found it. Helping you live life to the fullest. At FedEx, you'll find everything you'd expect of a people-first global industry leader. From benefits to special training to advanced opportunities, our offerings are deep and wide to match our commitment to your personal and career aspirations. So here are different things that they offer as far as benefits. They are not hyperlinks because it's not changing for me to be able to click it. So we're going to browse down a little bit more and see what we can find. FedEx Cares, awards and recognition. I will make every FedEx experience outstanding. The FedEx Purple Promise. Got it. All right. Just keep scrolling because you just reading and reading and reading. That's Jerry Rice. What he doing with FedEx? All right. So we at the bottom. Now let's go to investor relations. And I was drawing a blank because I'm like, it's not even on the bottom of this screen. So we got to go back to the home page. Load up, load up. Let's go. Here it is. Investor relations. Take me off the screen so you can see it right here. Investor relations. There's the stock price. What it closed at today. Did they zoom us out? No, we're good. Put me back on the screen. There that big old insect that. That's not even on. I don't know what that was, but there's a ladybug. What the heck? All right, investor relations. They trade on the New York Stock Exchange, ticker FDX. Look at it, flying all over the place. Okay, closing price, $318.53. Recent news, upcoming events, feature reports, mission statement. All the way over here on investor relations. FedEx Corporation will provide high value added logistics, transportation, and related end-to-end business services through a fully integrated digital and physical network to ultimately yield superior financial returns for its shareholders. That's why it's on the investors page. The mission statement talks about the investors in it. No, we didn't go all the way to the bottom. All right, we're at the bottom. Now we're going to go up to the top. We are looking for the stock quote and stock information. Here we go. So here's the different information they offer on the site about the stock. So let's go ahead and go to stock quote and chart. There we go. Stock quote. Here's the chart that they have available and historical stock quote. Got it. Now let's talk about what I found in my research about FedEx. I'm pulling this stuff up. FedEx does have customers and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Walmart Incorporated, ticker WMT, Target Corporation, ticker TGT, and Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN. Okay, now let's talk about the mobile limitations. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders can lose critical details and advanced platform features using apps on phones instead of software on computers or websites. So keep in mind, trading from a smartphone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. Guys, when I click these buttons, it throw the prompter off and everything. So that's what happened. I'm like, why stop moving? Okay, here we go. For the most robust tools and data, it's best to use a full trading platform. Watch these streams on a computer or a TV and only use a phone as a last resort. Now let's look at FedEx on the charts. Here we go. Take that off, go here, bam, and then put this there. We got it, guys. We got it. Take me off the screen real quick. So we are looking at a 1 year daily chart when it comes to FedEx. We got them right here. FedEx 1 year daily chart. Trade on the New York Stock Exchange. We got all that information right here. 52-week low, $174.13. 52-week high, $345.37. Okay, now let's look at a 10-year weekly chart and see what we can find over here. So on the 10-year weekly chart, we see that they had a 10-year low of $71.47, and that was in 2020. I know it's hard to see the year, but it's right behind all of this icon stuff down here. And then we have a 10-year high of $345.37, which is also the current 52-week high. So it is trading above the 200-week simple moving average, and it looks like it just closed. Let me zoom in. That's not what we're looking for. Let's zoom in. So I'll use this one. It looks like this week's candle closed just below the 9-week simple moving average. Okay. And we can't see that bubble over here to the right. So I'm going to show you how you find this. So the 200-week simple moving average is this dashed white line, and we can see the bubble for it right here. So that's that price level. But because the price closed so close to the 9-week simple moving average, we can't see it. So this is where we need to look. When we mouse over this candle, it's going to be up here to the top, this green label. And then the white label is going to be the 200. You can see 200 here, and then you can see 9 here. So that's how that's broken down. So when I mouse over the candles, that green, so the 9-week simple moving average is currently at $320.95. So we can see that today's closing price right over here, $318.53, was just below that simple moving average. Okay. So we can put me back on the screen. I've just been talking away. All right. So we're going to look at this 10-year weekly chart and see if we can find some price levels. We need to zoom out. Guys, nah, we're nowhere near any of these other levels. So we can just focus on the 1 year daily chart. So that's where we are now. I'm gonna go to the settings. Looks like it might be off a little bit. Time axis. Yeah, I want this to be on 30. This is just my own little personal preference. Just bothering me. It's nothing special. Okay, now we're looking for support and resistance. Support and resistance. I see one. And I'm seeing it as a zone, okay? So the low of this candle to the low of that candle. And I'm going to extend this over to the left. So we need to do that with this one. So we're going to go to, that looks like that's back in July. So we're just going to go to 2025. April will be more than enough. So when I click OK, it'll extend to the left, and then we're going to extend it to the right to December 1st of this year. So bam, bam, bam. There we go. All right. Okay. So I'm seeing that level as support and resistance, a support and resistance zone. So since the price is trading right here, that's going to be my support zone. Here's the price at the bottom of that zone. So that's 306.05. The top of that zone, I'm trying to eyeball what candle I used. I don't remember which. I think it was this candle right here. But just to be safe, I'll just go to the properties. So the top range of that zone is 312.24. 312.24. 312.24. 312.24. There we go. So that's the top of that support and resistance zone. So since the price is right here, we're going to call it support. As far as resistance, I'm going to say that 52-week high. I'm wondering why we have this price level up here. It must have traded that high and extended hours, because I don't even see that on the weekly chart. I have no idea what those price levels are all the way up there. So since I don't know why they're there, I'm just going to remove them. Just remove them since I don't know why they're there. There we go. As far as support and resistance, it looks like these three candles over here had a hard time. So that would be like a zone to me. So from this to that. Okay. And I'm going to edit the properties and extend that over to December 1st as well. December 1st. There we go. And then take this back to, we went to April 1st, 2025. That says 26, 25. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to put the price levels there because we can't see it. I remember it's the top, the high of that candle and the high of that candle. So those are the price levels. So if we space this out, adjust the chart so it'll be easier to see. Be a little easier to see, guys. Be a little easier to see. That's what I got for my support and resistance, okay? We don't need to go too crazy. Since this is where the price action is right now, this red candle right here, this was today's candle, and it pretty much wiped out all of the longs in Thursday's candle because it closed lower than the open. So that whole body got wiped out today, the whole body of this green candle. So this body, we still have the low. So if somebody was long down here below the close of this red candle, then they could still be profitable. But for the most part, everybody in that candle is losing if they had a long position, okay? Now, what are we looking at now? We got our support, we got our resistance. All right, we can go ahead and get the stock quote for FedEx. So let's go ahead and go up here to the settings and cut on my floating data box. There we go. So FedEx opened today at $327.58. They had a high of $327.62. They had a low of $316.12. And they closed today at $318.53, which was a trading range of $11.50. Now, when we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 3.4 million shares today. So we need to find out what's the average daily trading volume for FedEx, because that looks kind of low, but we need to figure out what the average is for this specific company instead of just assuming. So let's go ahead and look at the labels. Take me off the screen. So when we come over here, so that is high for FedEx. So the average daily trading volume for FedEx is 2.3 million shares in a daily trading session. Here are the number of shares they traded today. This red candle right here. Now, when we look at the previous volume, it was 2.7 million shares traded on this green candle right here. It's acting up, guys. Give me a second. This green candle right here. That's the candle that traded 2.7 million. So we do see an increase in volume from Thursday's candle to today's candle, and both of those candles volumes were above average. Okay, so we got that. Now let's get into the volume rank percentile. Put me back on the screen. Now, when we come over here, out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, only 23 of those days had higher volume than today's candle. And out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 90.9% of those trading days volumes. We got it. All right. So one more thing before we move on about these technicals. The price did close today below the 9-day simple moving average, because now we're looking at a daily chart, and it did close above the 200-day simple moving average. Because remember, this is a daily chart. When we were over here, we were looking at a weekly chart. So the SMAs will be different. Even though it's still a 9 and a 200, it's either going to be 200 days or 200 weeks. It depends on the bars or the candles. So we got that. Now we can go ahead and move on. So go here. All right, community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description, as well as on the ticker on the screen. All right, now let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. All right, so let's go back to the charts. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the ticker spot up already. Put the right disclaimer up here. Ooh, there's a lot of button clicking. All right, we're gonna go up here to the symbol box and type in the SPY, SPY. Guys, it was interesting today. The SPY moved around like a wild bull. It was acting like it was trying to shake somebody off. You hear me? Ooh, it was nasty. All right, let me take me off the screen. Let's talk about it. So the SPY had us a 52-week low of $608.37, 52-week high of $760.40. Okay, we are looking at a 1-year daily chart. We're still up in historical highs territory. If we go over here and look at the 10-year weekly chart, we can see the 10-year low of $198.65. 10-year high is the same 52-week high, $760.40. I know those are a lot of lines, guys, but I just want to show you there's no historical price data at these levels besides where we are right now. Okay, as we can see going back. So let's go back to the 1-year daily chart and let's focus on the price action of where we are right now, and put me back on the screen while I adjust this. Just adjusting these candles to get them positioned where it'll be easier to see. There we go. Ooh, that's a crazy volatility, guys. That's major. What do they call that? I think they call it a wicker candle. That's not the name of it. I'm not gonna pull my book. I'm gonna look it up. That means I need to do some more education and research, but it's a name. Rickshaw or something like that, something with this, because it's how wide it is. It opened and closed almost at the exact same price. That's why the body of the candle is so flat. Okay, but you got this long trading range between the high and the low for the day. So the price opened just above this level of support we have on the chart at $727.82. And we've been talking about that price range or that price level of support because of these 3 candles right here this week. So this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's candle, it broke below all of these levels we had on the chart as support, as well as this support zone. So if we open that up, we can see those price levels. 723.77, that's the low part of the zone. The top of the zone was 725.04. Then we can see this price level we had, 722.59. It broke through all of those, but then it recovered throughout the day. So I'm gonna be talking about this weekend on the Q&A for the market, for the weekly recap live. But what I think that's going on in the market right now, guys, is that there is doing a rotation. The institutions are rotating. They're rotating capital out of one sector into other sectors. That's what I think is happening. So the most recent earnings that we had that blew it out of the water was Micron. Micron just had ticker MU. We did a live stream on them this week. They just had earnings, knocked it out of the park. I've already been thinking for the last 2 or 3 months and looking at the chart since we've been covering everything, it's actually been earlier than this, that the information technology sector's leaders have been extremely overvalued. They've been extremely overvalued. And as everybody has been focusing on the information technology sector, it's undervalued companies that are trading at real attractive levels right now in other sectors, because everybody was all focused on energy and information technology. So now with these earnings coming, I think that's what's happening here. They pulling money out, but they putting it back in different companies in different sectors. But this is crazy indecision and so calculated for it to stop and come right back to where it opened at. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, but we'll go in more in depth in that on the weekend when we do the weekly recap live. Okay, so we don't need to draw any more technicals on the chart. We got enough. This gap still hasn't been filled, but it covered a wide range of our area of support and resistance. And that wick is so long, I don't even think we really need to do another one. We don't need to do another one because that's only one price level. These two will be fine. So I'm going to leave that. Let's go ahead and get the quote for the SPY. And then we can talk about the volume. So let's get the quote for this ETF. So the SPY opened today at $728.95. They had a high of $736.53, and they had a low of $716.58. Now, here's where it gets interesting, guys. They closed today. Let me use this other mouse. Oh, it took the data box off when I clicked this tool. Oh, let's do this a different way because that sucks. I'll do it in a minute. Let me just finish this. So they closed the day at $728.99, which was a trading range of $19.95. So here's what I want us to pay attention to. Let's talk about the volume so you can see that now. So they traded 71 million shares of this ETF today. Okay. We're going to come back to the volume, but I want to highlight the open and the close. So I'm going to cut off this floating data box. And when I do that, it's going to put the high, the open, low. It's going to put the open, the high, the low, and the close all up here. It's moving because I'm mousing over different candles. So let me do this. If I go to the candle we need to focus on, it'll stay fixed. So that's the candle we're focused on. So June 26, 2026. Here's the open. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's the close. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is the close and the open. Look how close they are to one another. So you got $728.95 on the open and $728.99 on the close. Guys, it was a 4 cents difference. That's why the body on that candle is so flat. But it covered almost a $20 movement because it was $19. The range was $19.95 right there. From the high, the distance from the high to the low, the price difference was $19.95. Crazy. Now let's go back to the volume and I'll point out what's going on with the volume. I'll repeat it. So right over here, here is the volume on today's candle. They traded 71 million. The average trading volume for the SPY is 73 million. So it was 2 million below average, but we do see an increase in volume. We see an increase because yesterday's volume was 54 million. It was this red candle right here. That candle traded 54 million shares in that trading session. And today we did roughly, I'm rounding this off, 20 million more than yesterday. But that's when we had this crazy volatility candle. Crazy. All right, now let's put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume rank percentile. So the volume is really balanced as far as compared to average trading volume because it's so close. The average trading volume was 73 million. They traded 71. It was slightly below. So that's where we're looking at with the volume rank percentile. So you notice that even though it's slightly below average, it's not above 50%. That's why this tool is so powerful. I'm glad it actually showed something different this time because we've been doing it so much, it hasn't really deviated from it. You would think the normal way you would do an average, it would show you like it would be below 50%. But volume rank percentile counts the number of days that are below and above the current day's volume. So it's basing the percentage off of the amount of those days. So it's more accurate. It gives you a better idea of how often this happens. So the amount of days above were 120 out of the most recent 252. And then the days below was 132 out of that same number. So when we read it that way, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 52.4% of those daily candles volumes. Bada boom, bada bing, we got it. Now, let's go back to this scene. Do this, and then let's talk about it. Now let's look at what the S&P 500 index biggest gainer and loser of the day. We need to find out who those companies were. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go back to the charts, put that ticker back up, the disclaimer. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up here to the symbol box. No, we're not. We're going up here to the Market Watch tab. When we go to the Market Watch tab, here we go. We have the S&P 500 watch list pulled up. And guys, the biggest loser for today is ticker ON, Owens Semiconductor Corporation. Okay, highlight that right there. So they lost 23.66% today, guys. Crazy. Their previous close was $118.74, and they closed today at $90.65. Okay, let's do a hypothetical, and then we're going to break this down a little bit more. So let's pull up a calculator. Bam. We're going to use $4,500. So if somebody invested $4,500 into this company and they lost, or into this stock, same difference, and they lost 23.66%, we negate it, turn it to a decimal, they would have lost $1,064.70 just from yesterday to today's close. And then we're going to add that $4,500 back to it to see how much they would have left. They have $3,435.30 left of their initial investment. Crazy. All right, now let's go up here to the Analyze tab. And this is what I want to break down as well. We're going to look at how, first of all, ticker Owens Semiconductor Corporation is in the information technology sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed today, how the industry performed today, and how the sub-industry performed today. And this supports what I was saying about sector rotation. The biggest loser for today is in the hottest sector, information technology. But let's go ahead and go over to the Market Watch tab and then go to the Visualize sub tab. So we're going to hunt this company down. They're in the information technology sector. Take me off the screen. Information technology sector. Guys, the semiconductor and semiconductor equipment is all red, guys. The whole doggone industry, the semiconductors industry, is blood red today. Here is On. They lost 23.66%. They took a beating today. So another way to look at this real quick is the information technology sector in the S&P 500 is also grouped in a ticker called XLK. Wow. So when we pull that up, it don't look as bad. Are we looking at a daily chart? Yes, we are. It don't look as bad. Now, let me explain why it doesn't look as bad. Because it's like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. We looked at an industry. The whole sector wasn't red, but that whole industry was. Now you can see the difference. So now when we go back over here, let's put the right ticker back in, ON. And then we go back over here to the Market Watch tab and visualize. We're inside the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry. If we back out and we go to the information technology sector, we can see that everything wasn't wasn't red. You see that? So that's why it didn't plummet as bad, because you got some green helping that out. It's a balance between the other companies in other industries inside that sector. So you got the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals industry. You got the software industry. They did well. It looked like it's only 2 companies that did bad in this one. It's almost all green. So it balanced out. Now that I explained that, now when we go back to the chart and look at it, XLK, you see, now you get an indecision candle. It's flat because you had this industry that was all red bring down the industry that was all green. So the candle's flat. I hope that made sense. All right, now let's go back to the Market Watch tab. We didn't break down the sub industry. I believe the sub industry is the same. Go back. Here's the information technology sector. Here's the semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry. And if we click on that again, the sub industry is semiconductors. It's over here to the left. So information technology sector, semiconductors and semiconductor equipment industry, and then semiconductors sub industry. They took a beating today. Now let's go back to the Analyze tab and let's talk about this company. Let's put the right ticker in here, ON. So before we go to Owens Semiconductor Corporation's website, here is the link for their website, and a link to their website is also available down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company. Owens Semiconductor Corporation provides intelligent sensing and power solutions in Hong Kong, Singapore, the United Kingdom, the United States, and internationally. Guys that did research on this company, so we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail after we visit their website. So let's go there. Here is the wrong company. We need to go here. That's 3. Push the wrong button. Here it is. Here's their website. I'm browsing over the top. So here's company, here's careers. I don't see investor relations at the top. So what we're going to do, we're going to browse over the whole website, the whole homepage, not the whole website. My apologies. The whole homepage. And then we're going to go to investor relations, company, and careers. About us might be at the bottom. So let's just get the browsing. On Semi at Electronica Shanghai 2026. Intelligent technology, better future. Got it. Automotive, all solutions. So what they do have to do with the automotive industry. Innovating for a better future through cutting edge technology and semiconductor products. Got it. Got it. Technology spotlight. Gallium nitride. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Vertical GaN, silicon carbide, Hyperlux sensors, Treo platform, MOSFETs. I'll be trying. MOSFETs, industrial, energy infrastructure, industrial automation, machine vision, robotics, industrial drive, energy storage, DC fast, EV charging, solar power. Boy, they got their hands on a lot of different stuff, don't they? Design and evaluate, product recommendations, interactive block diagrams, system solution guides. Okay, vision. Okay, vision. Here we go. Vision statement. To drive technology breakthroughs that deliver on the promise of a sustainable future. Okay, mission statement. We push innovation to create intelligent power and sensing technologies that solve the most challenging customer problems. Newsroom featured careers at On Semi, investor relations. So there it is. We found the investor relations. Looking down here at the bottom. Take me off the screen. Can we click on About Semi? Yes, this makes it easier, guys. So let's go here. About On Semi. Come on, load up, load up. Put me back on the screen. There we go. Did they zoom us out? No, we're good. About On Semi, intelligent technology, better we read that. Our story, founded in 1999, present in over 20 countries, and over 26,000 employees. So they have some stats there. We already read the mission, vision, and values. I don't remember reading that one. At On Semi, we are creating the future we want to live in. They have some videos here as well. Here's the leadership. So remember, links to their website is down in the description for your convenience, so you can check that out. So automotive solutions, industrial solutions, computing, medical solutions, aerospace, defense, and security. Got it. Manufacturing designs and solutions. Our commitment. On Semi's commitment to ethical, environmentally stable, and responsible business practices is unmatched. But don't just take our word for it. Here are only a few of the latest awards that we've achieved for our efforts. So those are some things they've been recognized for. And here we are down at the bottom. So now we're going to go to careers. There we go. Now, hopefully on this section, we can find the benefits. That's what we're looking for. Compensation and benefits. They made it easy. Thank gosh. Okay. So let's browse over this page, and then we're going to click on compensation and benefits. Passion drives everything we do. Transform your future, top openings, who we are. So you can get more details about the company. Here's the section about compensation and benefits. So it depends on where the employee is located. So we're going to click on North America after I finish browsing over the website. So they have the stats here again. And we're at the bottom. Okay, so let's go to North America. On Semi, North America, benefits, regional. So they still, look, guys, it look like they're going to give us a whole PDF. Let me go ahead and click it. Let me click it. See how many pages this is. It's asking me to sign. Is it like 2 pages, saving program? Oh, that's not bad. It's just 2 pages. It's not too bad. So you can see that. I know it's kind of small, but you know where to find it. That's the main thing. All right. Now let's go to investor relations so we can get this stock information and get ready to look at them on the charts. So here we go, browse down. Here's the stock information. So we're going to click on that in a second. I just want to browse over this page. Here's the stock. They trade on the NASDAQ. There's the ticker, closing price, quarter results, annual report, investor contact. All right, we're down at the bottom. Let's go back up here. Stock info. Let's go. Stock quote and chart and historical price lookup. So here's the stock quote. And as we can see, this happens sometimes. The chart hasn't loaded up yet because they outsource the data, I believe. And it takes a while sometimes for it to pop up and communicate with their website. So they do have a historical price lookup tool down here at the bottom and year-end stock prices. This taking a while to load. Normally I just go ahead and talk and try to find something to tell you. But guys, I'm tired. Here we go. There we go. So that's the chart they have available. So let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. Okay. So on Semiconductor Corporation, ticker ON, when it comes to their goods and services, they manage semiconductor manufacturing across the automotive, industrial automation, and 5G cloud infrastructure markets, offering solutions such as, number 1, complete power management options, including discrete silicon carbide devices and modules for electronic vehicle drivetrains. Number 2, scalable intelligent sensing products, including CMOS image sensors, processors, and photon detectors for factory automation. And number 3, optimized analog system packages tailored for efficient power conversion, circuit protection, and signal conditioning. Got it. Looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Tesla Incorporated, ticker TSLA, Ford Motor Company, ticker F, and General Motors Company, ticker GM. Got it. All right. Now let's go back to the charts. Here we go. We already have the ticker up. Put the right disclaimer. There we go. All right. Go over to the charts, guys. We are looking at, let me fix this. Put this on 30. It's moved again. There we go. Apply. Okay. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. Ooh, that gap down was nasty. Oh, but before we get into this 1 year daily chart, too tough. Let's go over here and look at the 10-year weekly. Okay, well, this ain't too bad. This ain't too bad from the other information technology companies I've seen. So the 10-year low is $8.11. And guys, they hit a high this year, 2026, of 134.92. So if I use this trend line tool, do my best to get the low of this candle, and then go to this 10-year high, not 52-week. Well, it's also the 52-week, but we focus on 10-year high. Guys, that's a percentage gain of over 1,500%. Crazy. Took 10 years to get it, but it's there. The opportunity was there. Oh, okay. All right. Remove that drawing and let's look for some price levels. Okay. So right here, let me zoom in. Let's zoom in right here. That's good enough. All right. So what I'm looking for, guys, these 4 candles right here. So I'm going to tell you why I'm not using this candle at the top. I'm not using that candle at the top, and we are looking at weekly candles because I can get more candles focusing on these 4. Okay. So I'm going to use a price level. I'm going to use the price level tool, and I'm going to put it here on the high of this red candle. That's the open. That's not the high. So let's remove that. Remove. We want to put it on the high of that candle. There it is. All right. So now that I've done it that way, let me zoom in so you can see this. It's touching more of these candles. It's touching all 4 of them. And if I had just put it up here on this high, it would only touch that one. So I'm seeing that level of $104.87 as resistance or support, depending on where the price is, based off what happened in 2023 for those 4 weeks, since that's weekly candles. All right, let's zoom in. We have a support zone here that we drew on the chart, a support zone here. Now, based off where the price action is now, we can see these 2 candles here. Let me use this tool. These 2 candles right here. Bam, those 2, the green and the red one. We're going to use that to do a price level. The red one looks slightly lower than the green one. So now when we do that, we can see that it was tested as resistance here. It held that support here. It held that support here. And as resistance. So it was responding to that price level a few times. It crashed through it right here. It just bust right through it. It didn't come all the way down to test it this week, but it's approaching that level of $87.40. Okay. Let me put that back. $87.40. We're seeing that. Now, if we were to put something else here as support, I would say this area right here based off the weekly. Okay. So let's use that price level and we're going to put it right here. That touches a lot of those candles. That's why I picked that price level. Okay. Not going to go back into detail of pointing that out because we already used up a lot of time tonight. But that candle held as resistance and show you this. That responded to that price level as well. So $74.18, which is also near a psychological price level of $75. Okay. A round number. All right. Now that we've done that on the 10-year weekly chart, we can go ahead and go over to our daily chart. And immediately we have a lot of this done already, guys. Ooh, it's a couple of things I'm seeing that we got to clean up. All right. So let's zoom in and move this chart over. All right. So here's what I'm seeing. One, we have a gap from all the way back here that hasn't even been, that just now got filled. So this would have been showing on the charts before this gap down happened. So we have a gap down between Thursday and today. So let's identify that gap right now. So it's going to be the low of Thursday's candle and the high of today's candle. Now we're going to make this yellow because, you know, we make them yellow. So we'll know those are gaps on my charts that I use. All right. So we got that December 1st. Okay. So there's the gap there. Now I want you to see this. So today's date was the 26th. So what I'm going to do, I want to show you what I mean by this gap. So the low on this candle, this red candle that I'm moused over right now, The low on that one is 92.44. The low on this one is 92.50. So this candle came down a little bit and started filling that gap. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect to the high of this candle and the low of this red candle, because that candle came down and started to fill the gap. Now, when I take this and go to edit properties, I'm going to turn it yellow, and I'm going to extend it over to today's date so you can see what I mean about where it got filled at. So 6/26, 2026. There we go. See what I mean? Now that I did that, you can see that the price action on today's candle filled that gap. So that gap is gone now. So if that was on the charts before this price action today played out, we would have already had that identified as an area that hadn't been filled yet. So when that gap down happened, it found that gap fill as support. You see that? If we hadn't did that, we wouldn't have seen it. We had a price level of support down here at 87.40. But now that we identified that gap, when I put that price level there, you can see that the wick on today's candle actually tested that support of 89.69 at the bottom of that gap. The top of the gap is partly where it got filled at. So that was 92.44. Got it? So we can remove this now since it's been filled. But it caught it as support. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it back. Well, why you take it over? Give me a second. I'm gonna explain it. I'm explaining what I'm doing. I got a lot going on. Hold on. I'm explaining what I'm doing. Since it found it as support, I want to change it to a support zone. That's what I'm doing. So we're gonna change the color. We're gonna change it from a gap to a support zone. Is that the right color? Let me zoom out. No, that's not it. We got to make it a little darker. So it's this one. And then we're going to extend it over to December 1st. Same year, 2026. There we go. So now it's a support zone. I changed it from a gap to a zone. You see how we got zones down here too? This stock seems to move with zones, in my opinion. But we don't have the price levels identified down here, but we're not going to go through all that right now. Since the price level is up here in this area, you have a nice gap right here. Not gap. I want to use the word gap because that's a technical term. A nice amount of space between this level of support and this level of support. So you got a nice amount of price range between $87.40 and $74.18. And then down here, we have the 200-day simple moving average, this dashed white line, which is at $70.16. And then we have the 9-day simple moving average at $116.94. So those are my technicals on, that's funny, on Semiconductor Corporation. But let me go ahead and put these price levels here. Bam. Bam. So we can identify the top of the gap and the bottom of the gap. Okay. So those are our price levels. Spread that out a little bit for you. And then space this out, make the candle a little bit bigger. So that's what I got. Now, let's get the stock quote for ticker ON. Let's say it that way. Cut on my floating data box. So here we go. On Semiconductor Corporation opened today at $98.29. They had a high of $98.48, and they had a low of $89.24. And they closed today at $90.65, which is a trading range of $9.24. Now, the trading volume, they traded 44.2 million shares of this stock today. So we need to check out that volume to find out what the average daily trading volume is for this ticker, this stock, this company. So the average trading volume is 9 million shares in a daily trading session, guys. That is huge if you haven't did the math already. So they did 4 times what they normally do on that gap down. They trade less than 10 million in a regular trading session. And they did more than 4 times that number just today. And then this candle Thursday's candle was below average. That's the volume right here. That's below the average volume that we identify right there. So we saw a huge jump in the volume when it gapped down to the downside. And they are in the information technology sector, the one that everybody going all crazy about. Woo! Somebody got towed up. Somebody got towed up. It's not funny, but it's crazy. That's irony laughing right now. Because I know it losing don't feel good. Ooh, I know it don't. All right, now. And it wasn't even earnings. It just happened. You see what I'm saying? It just happened. Some type of catalyst. Or it wasn't any news and it just happened because earnings was back here. You expect volume like that to come in on a catalyst or earnings. And it didn't have earnings. I don't feel like going to go look at the news. But if we wanted to do that, we could come over here and they would have it over here listed on the left. So here's the somewhat news. I know I said I didn't feel like doing it, but that's not right. That's not right. So I want to see what the story was. What was the narrative? What was the explanation they tried to give about why this stock did what it did today? That's what I want to find out. Then they telling you AI made this article too. This article was automatically generated by Dow Jones using technology from Automated Insights. Shares of Owens Semiconductor Corporation cratered 23.7% to $90.65 on what proved to be an all-around mixed trading session for the stock market, with the S&P 500 index remaining mostly unchanged. That's what we talked about earlier today with that flat open and close. You had that wide range of $19.95, but then we had that flat open close. They talking about that in this article, but they can't even explain what happened. They blaming it on the overall market instead of what actually just happened with this company. Mostly unchanged at $7,354.02. And you might be thinking, well, with the SPY ain't 7,000 and something. They're using the SPX. The SPY is a 10th multiple. It's a 10th of the total S&P 500 index. It's only 10% of it. That's why it's 700 and something. Okay. Crazy. Owens Semiconductor Corporation closed 32.8% short of its 52-week high of $134.92, which the company reached on June 3rd. The stock underperformed when compared to some of its peers, as Nvidia Corporation fell 1.6%, Broadcom fell 3.7%, Qualcomm fell 7.57%. Remember when we looked at the industry inside the information technology sector for semiconductors and the whole thing was red? That's what they're talking about, even though they did not name all of the companies. So that was that. They can't even explain what happened. I just wanted to look and see if they had a catalyst they could explain, but they don't. Just gap down and caught a whole bunch of people with their pants down. Crazy. All right, let's finish talking about the volume. So with the volume rank percentile, only one of those days had higher volume than today's candle. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, only one of those days had higher volume than today. So now that's why we would understand that out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 99.6% of those daily trading days volume. Got it. Moving on. Let's go look at the biggest gainer for today. Ooh, I smell that we almost finished. We almost finished. Ooh, let's finish this. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. So let's go to quotes, hit this percentage change. So the biggest gainer for today, guys, is Moderna Incorporated, ticker MRNA. They had a 12.59% gain. Previous close, $59.75. They closed today at $67.27. And here is that percentage change of 12.59%. And they are in the healthcare sector. Okay, so we're going to be paying attention to this next week. I want to pay attention the next week Are the leaders going to be in different sectors? Because information technology has been the leaders in the gainers. But now they seem to be leading on the losers. So that's why I'm saying I believe that they're rotating out of that sector into other sectors that are more attractive based on where their values are. Because I think these companies in the information technology sector are extremely overvalued. So let's go ahead and go to the calculator and do a hypothetical. So let's say if somebody invested $2,500 and they got that 12.59% gain, we turn that to a decimal, they would have gained $314.75. Add that to the $2,500 and that is a total of $2,814.75. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we're going to go over here to the Analyze tab and we're going to look at Moderna. So we're going to look at their performance inside of the healthcare sector. That's the sector that they're inside of. We need to find out what industry they're in, how that performed, and how the sub industry performed. Okay. So we're going to look at that performance. So let's go back over to the Market Watch tab, go to the Visualize tab, and now we need to find the healthcare sector, and then we're going to locate Moderna. So here's the healthcare sector over here. Guys, it's mostly green to me. Looked like healthcare did pretty well today. That's what I'm seeing. Take me off the screen. Here we go. So now we need to find Moderna. Moderna. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, don't take me. Here it is. So it's in the biotechnology industry. That whole industry performed well today. And biotechnology is also the sub industry. So it's the same. So it's in the healthcare sector, the biotechnology industry, and the biotechnology sub industry, and they did very well today. So let's go back to the Analyze tab. Now, before we visit Moderna's website, a link to their website is right here. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company before we go to the website. Moderna Incorporated, a biotechnology company, provides messenger RNA medicines in the United States, Europe, and internationally. All right, guys, I did research on this company, so we'll talk about it in a little bit more detail after we go over the website. Got it. Everything where it need to be. Okay, so we're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Careers, and we're going to go to Investors. Everything we need is at the top of the page, but we're going to browse over this home page, and then we'll go check those things out. Woo! Pause this, because as I try to read it, it's just going to go crazy. I just want to read one of them. IR Insights, recapping Moderna's Science Day. Got it. Latest news, job opportunities. So they tell you the different positions there. You can scroll through all of them. Here are some stats. So over 13 years of progress, 45 development programs, 36 ongoing clinical trials. Meet Moderna. Oh, they talk about their mission. Here we go. Moderna's mission is to deliver the greatest possible impact to people through mRNA medicines. Is that just the ticker, Moderna medicines? I don't know. Join us and change the world of medicines. So what is mRNA? I guess they about to explain it, huh? Messenger RNA already exists in your body. It carries a message instructions that direct your cells what to do. Got it. Okay, fighting disease differently, limitless treatments. Meet Kiki, our journey to building the best version of Moderna. Got it. All right, let's go back to the top. About Us. Our mission, I believe we just read that. Click on it anyway. I'm glad I did. So About Us, our mission is right. We read that. So leadership. Here goes some more stats. Browse over that. Leadership, directors, board of directors. Here we go. Got it. Go back up to the top and click on our story. I'm not going to read all of it. I just want to see what they're going to show us and what they got. We're making biotech history, our big moments. Okay, so they have a timeline here that you can go to. Remember, links are down in the description for your convenience if you want to check this out on your own time. I know I'm moving kind of fast. I'm ready to wrap this up. All right. So we did that. Let's go to Careers, Life at Moderna. Here we go. Now, what we're looking for the benefits. That's what I'm really looking for. I'm looking at the top. I don't see it. Fraudulent recruitment alert. Man, they scamming everything. You gonna scam me with a job, you can't have nothing. Careers, life at Moderna, meet our change makers, awards, real-time AI organization, our mindsets. We know that greatness lives outside of comfort zones and our mindsets get us there. How will you help us build the most impactful life sciences company in the world? Got it. Maximize your impact. Volunteer season. Take your moment with benefits. Can you click on this? It doesn't look clickable to me and I can't click it. Employee resource groups. Bring your best self. All right, guys. I did not see anything about the benefits besides right here, but it wasn't anything we could click on and go into deep detail to. And like I said, I'm ready to wrap this up. So let's go ahead and go to investor relations. And I believe that's going to take us to a whole nother website. So let me bring that over and open it up for you. So here we go. Blow this up, zoom in. Yeah. All right. So here's the stock info stuff we need right there. But I'm gonna browse over this page and then we'll click on it in 1 second, just so you can see. All right, now, stock info, stock quote, bam. Here's the chart. I'm so glad that popped right up. So there's the chart. Here's the stock quote at the top, historical quote, and some other tools that they have. Now, let's talk about what I found in my research about the company. MRNA, got it. All right. So Moderna Incorporated, ticker MRNA. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage biotechnology medicine development across the infectious disease, oncology, therapeutic, and rare genetic disorder markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete preventative vaccine options, including respiratory. Ooh, that's a big word right there. Syncytial virus and seasonal influenza treatments for global public healthcare. Number two, scalable messenger RNA platform products, including personalized cancer vaccines and individualized immunology therapies for clinical investigators. I thought that was, I'm like, what? Okay, got it. Investigators. And number three, optimized localized regenerative systems tailored for cell-free DNA synthesis, metabolic enzyme restoration, and intracellular protein production. That wasn't that bad. All right, now, looking at their S&P 500 customers and partners, notable names include Merck, M-E-R-E-K and Company, Incorporated, ticker MRK, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, Incorporated, ticker VRTX, and Pfizer, Incorporated, ticker PFE. Okay, so we got that. Now, let's go to the charts. Let's go to the charts. There. We already had them up. Yep. And then put the right disclaimer. All right. Now, we've looked at Moderna recently, guys. And it looks like they responded to what we put on the charts. It looked like they did exactly what we put up on that boy. So let's go back. Then I think we looked at them yesterday. Yeah. Well, recently, I just know we looked at them recently. So here's the thing. So if we didn't look at them today, and I know I ain't put none of these lines on here from today, I can explain to you why we have that price level there at $67.74. I can actually explain it this time. Earlier, I couldn't in the show, but I can. And we don't even have to do any new technicals because we already looked at this. They reached a high of $67.74 in the extended hours trading. That's when they reached that high. That's why that level was there, and it's above this high. So before today's high, the 52-week high would have been $65.51. But after today, you got a new 52-week high of $69.29. And I got so excited and got to going into it, guys. I didn't even do what I normally do. So let's go ahead and fix that. Let's make that right. This needs to be 30, or I want this to be 30. There we go. So Moderna has a 52-week low of $22.28 and a new 52-week high of $69.29. Now, if we go to the 10-year chart, we go all the way back to, it's actually not a full 10 years. It goes back to 2018, just the tail end of it. So let's say this is about 7 years. It's about a 7-year chart. Have a 7-year low of $11.54, 7-year high of $497.49. We talked about this before, that they took off after 2020 because of the pandemic. So they had one of the vaccines that people were taking for COVID-19. And you can see that drove the company crazy with profits. And ever since that anomaly of something that doesn't happen all of the time, after that rush was over, boy, did it crash. Okay. And it consolidated for a whole year between all of 2025, pretty much. Okay. Consolidated. And it's just now breaking out of that consolidation to the upside. And now we need to see it get above this 200-week simple moving average. And that should mean it's on the rise. It's on the uptrend. At least it's changing the trend if it can get above that 200-week simple moving average, okay? Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. So we zoom in. This dashed white line. So the 200-week simple moving average is $83.77. It needs to get above that, guys. It needs to get above that. Here's that 1-year consolidation I was talking about in 2025. And here's a easier way of, a better way of a close up of seeing this uptrend. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to say it, but I said it. There we go. All right. And thank you guys for tuning in. Please hit that like button. It helps me out tremendously, and consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly would appreciate it. All right, let me take this off the screen and let's finish the technicals. Why I won't delete it? What's going on? Well, let me do it from here. Delete. Got it. Go back here. Okay. All right. So let's go to the 1-year daily charts. And guys, with the price action being up here, let me show you what I meant about being able to see this price level. Actually, guys, I couldn't even see it. It's right here. This doji was so small, I didn't even see it there. I saw this red candle. This doji was where that high was at $67.74. So that was the previous 52-week high. $67.74. Not this candle. I couldn't even see this one. So that's where that came from. So we don't need to go to the extended hours to look for that price level. Okay. So the new 52-week high, the previous 52-week high was the $67.74, and that took place on June 18th. And then today we have a new 52-week high of $69.29. As far as price levels for support and resistance, I'm looking for support to be near where the price is already. We can put that price level there at $54.24, but it has to fall back below these 3 levels I already had before it even get to here. And then the 9-day simple moving average is right there at $58.74. So you got 2 areas of support overlapping at that 58.74. And then we have that support zone all the way down here. All right. So let me zoom in a little bit and then we can talk about the stock quote for Moderna. So go up here to the settings, cut on my floating data box. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. All right. So Moderna opened today at $59.47. They had a high of $69.29, which was also a new 52-week high. They had a low of $59.23, and they closed today at $67.27, which was a trading range of $10.06. The trading volume for Moderna today was 14.4 million shares of this stock was traded today. Now we're going to look at my volume labels after cutting off this floating data box and taking me off the screen to find out what the average trading volume is for Moderna in a daily trading session. Guys, it is 9.8 million shares in a daily trading session. That's the average volume. Today they did 14.4. So this candle is definitely above average. It's not quite double. If it was 18, it would have been double, but it's still high for Moderna. And I'm gonna break these labels down because this thing does a great job of doing that. See, I'm excited. Oh, let me calm down. So this candle right here, Thursday's candle, Here's the volume on that. So that candle traded below average. It traded 6.7 million on Thursday. So we see an increase in volume from Thursday to Friday. And it fell short of being double compared to average. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. Today has been a great day with explaining how powerful this volume rank percentile label is. Because even though it didn't double in volume like we identified earlier, it tells you how big of a deal it is by telling you, hey, today's volume is higher than 86.9% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. This is up there. That's great. So then when we see the days above, days below, only 33 days out of the most recent 252 trading days had higher volume than today. Okay? And it's trading above the 200-day simple moving average and the 9-day super moving average. And it closed with a vengeance. It didn't close above the previous 52-week high, but it came close to it. It came close to it. All right, guys. We did it. We did that. We can go ahead and move on. Let me take that off, put this here, and then we do that. All right. Oh, thank God it's Friday. I'm saying it again. I know I said it earlier, but I got to say it again. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, June 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's performance of the 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index, companies that stood out, notable market news, and performing a live Q&A so we can focus on building our community. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following the market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And keep in mind next week that the market is closed on Friday in observance of July 4th, even though Friday is July 3rd. All right? So take care and God bless.